Hey guys, today I wanted to show you just one of the ways that I eat more intentionally and relatively healthfully while I'm traveling. So I'm on the road right now doing the motorcycle racing job that I do. I'm camping out of my car and there's my bed. And it's morning now. I had a pretty decent sleep. It rained overnight really bad and my window was open for air. So that was a bit of a bummer, but yeah, today I wanted to talk to you guys just a little bit about the stuff that I eat so I can save money and then also eat pretty well while I'm on the road. I guess I should revise. Saving money isn't really paramount here. If I was going to focus on anything while I'm on the road, it's more so eating healthy. I've done a lot of road trips over the last few years, and on pretty much all of them, if you're out there for any extended period of time, you pretty much end up feeling like junk because you're eating cheap food, you're eating like fast food, you're eating at a gas station. Sometimes if you have a camper van or a RV or something like that and you have a little bit of space to prepare food, you can cook a little bit more in depth. But especially if you're just crushing out the drive and you're not really stopping for very long to like cook a full meal in a park or something like that, you kind of just end up eating whatever's convenient, and it usually isn't something that's very good for you. So what I decided to do this summer when I was traveling was to buy a few of these, which are backpacker meals. Now these ones are plant-based backpacker meals. There's curries, there's shepherd's pie. This one is a Southwest breakfast skillet. It's got some tofu in it and some mixed vegetables. This one is by a company, I think out of British Columbia, called Nomad Nutrition. It's got like 420 calories, 18 grams of protein. You just add boiling water. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, there's no palm oil, and it's non-GMO. Quickly, here's a couple of the meals that I have with me. I'm not going to be eating all these, but I brought them with me just so I had a couple of options. So this Nomad Nutrition company, they make some pretty good stuff. This is an Irish shepherd's pie, and the ingredient list is just so short on this one. It's potatoes, corn, peas, carrots, onions, lentils, coconut milk, oil, sun-dried tomatoes, garlic, spices, sea salt. That's literally it. And it's a nice little shepherd's pie. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That might be dinner tonight. I also have this Kathmandu curry, which I've been looking to try. And that one's rice noodles, potatoes, carrots, onions, bell peppers, spinach, chickpeas, split peas, coconut milk, mushrooms, olive oil, sun-dried tomatoes, garlic, curry powder, spices, sea salt. So nothing junky in there. I've been enjoying these over this year, and it's been great. I'll show you guys just quickly how I make it. It's very easy. So I have my Snow Peak 700, Trek 700 here, which has just kind of been my go-to cook pot for a really long time. And then I have this BRS like titanium stove. It's very small, as you see. So I fire this puppy up. Now inside the Snow Peak I have 250 milliliters of water, about 8 ounces. The idea is I'm just going to boil this water and I'm going to pour it into the backpacker meal. Just let it rehydrate. If you've never had one of these before, this is the process. You just boil the water, pour it into the meal, close it, let it rehydrate, and then in a few minutes you can stir it up and enjoy. And they're pretty good. You know, it's hit and miss depending on the company you go with, so you got to kind of find a company that makes like decent stuff. For me, I think this is a good way to go. It's not the cheapest thing, I'll say. Like it's actually like basically the same price as going to any like fast food joint and getting food. It might be more expensive than a fast food joint. Like I feel like this was maybe $9, or maybe it was somewhere around there. The dinners are as much as $15 to get, and you know, $15 is not cheap for a meal like this. It's really meant for people who are going to be on the backcountry. They don't have access to food whatsoever. My thought process for this was I was trying to eat less processed meats, less processed food in general. This company is really like good on the processed food. They don't use really anything like that. It's all vegetables and it's just dehydrated, right? So I'm guaranteeing myself when I'm on the road and I'm gonna have a lot of options like Subway and McDonald's and gas stations and whatnot, or go to a grocery store and don't really have the processes to really cook anything too in depth. So maybe I'm heating up a canned thing or just eating some produce. Like, none of those are really great dinner options. So for me, like stepping it up to 15 Canadian, which would be like, I don't know, 12 or 11 American, that's a pretty good deal for me for a short period of time. You know, I would never eat like this at home. I'm always going to cook my own meals from scratch and it's going to be way cheaper. But when you're on the road, like I'm already saving on the overnight accommodations by sleeping for free everywhere that I go. So I have a couple $100 a night or $100 a night of like wiggle room to spend a little bit more on certain things that I really do value. So that's where I feel on that. I basically think that it's not a terrible investment. If I was going to be gone, like my girlfriend and I are going on a longer trip in 2025, very early 2025. For that, I will not be bringing dehydrated food. We're going to have a bigger like space that we're traveling in, like a bigger vehicle. So we will be able to prepare food and we're going to do it a lot cheaper. But for somebody who's like a fast and light solo traveler, I think this is a really great option for shorter outings. So the water's just about boiled, so let's pour it in and get ready to enjoy this nice breakfast. I'm very hungry, so very excited. It's kind of a cold, dreary day today, and a nice warm breakfast will be much welcomed. So let's take a look here. The water's boiling. So we'll turn that off. And now it's time to pour it in. Okay, so it's all stirred up, ready to enjoy. Now I'm just going to close it. Now I gotta let it sit for 10 minutes. So I'm just having the first few bites here of the breakfast skillet. The flavor is wonderful. It's really good. It's very delicious. It's a nice little like stewy looking breakfast. I think if I let it sit a little bit longer, some of this tofu, it's a little bit tough, so I feel like it could soften up a little more. I'm honestly just hungry, so I was trying to prioritize getting this to my mouth ASAP. This is just one of the ways that I do this. A lot of times, as I said, I cook on the road so I can eat more affordably while I'm traveling as well. But if you just know you're going to be out for a few days and you want to guarantee you can at least control the variables, you know, this food is plant-based. If you follow a plant-based diet and you want to make sure that you're having, you know, relatively healthy food, and you also don't know what plant-based options are going to be available to you wherever you're heading, try something like this Nomad Nutrition backpacker food. I think you're really going to enjoy it, and I think specifically if you're plant-based, you're really going to enjoy it. I think this is a good trick though for anybody who eats whatever diet you eat. Just look at backpacker food as a good option. Once again, it's not going to be super cheap. It's not going to be extremely affordable, but I think you almost can't afford to compromise on your health, especially when you're sleeping in your car and there's so many other variables that could make it extremely uncomfortable if you're not feeling well. I've felt sick in the past in my car and it's not a good feeling. You don't want it. That's about all I have to say for today, guys. I will talk to you in the next video.